right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Ice Shower After Work podcast. Jason and I are recording again from our lovely locations via Zoom. We're kind of caught up in a winter storm right now, man.
It is not good out there.
How are you? How's your week been? Were you stuck in that garbage cold snap that we had?
Yeah, I had one day outside, but luckily it was the nicest of the days. It was, however, snowing on us all day. I know you're working out in the cold, working in an ice shack with a buddy heater or sunflower and all that, eh?
In a fucking ice shack. How often do we got to do that, man? Fuck.
I can tell you, I never have. Anytime I was working in the elements, I've been out in it.
Yep.
But I like the ice shack idea when you're in one location.
Well, and I have to keep moving that ice shack around, right?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And it's not the ice shack and the buddy heater or the sunflower that I got using. It's not for my comfort. Everybody needs to understand that it is not for me. It's a benefit that it's a little warm, but it's all about loosening up this fucking tray cable we got to work with.
Oh, yes, for sure. You know, you're trying to keep equipment dry and not freezing cold, and you're getting wires and stuff in. You don't want to be doing that when it's frozen. Like, yeah, this is for the equipment and the material, not for you. You is a side benefit here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I get that, yeah. Look at you, John, right away, just defending yourself like everybody could call you pussy or something.
Fucking everybody will be like, if I posted that picture on the internet that I sent you, they'd fucking be like, oh, you pussy. I've spent my time outside. Fuck off.
You took another little bit of grief this week also that you're yet unaware of, I assume. Now, you might have gotten a message or two. I got a few.
No,
did you realize that at the start of last week's episode, you left in the automated voice that said, now recording?
No, I did not.
Recording in progress. The lady, like weird computerized lady voice?
I totally did. I knew that, and I loved it.
Yeah. Our episode dropped at what time Thursday morning?
It's 12:01.
12:01. Before first break, I had already had a message about that.
That is funny.
So, yeah, the committed listener, shout out.
Yep,
I
that's
appreciate
great.
it.
That's a little friggin' an Easter egg for y'all.
Yeah, a little editing kind of issue there.
No, not an issue at all. I heard it, and I heard where it landed in our conversation, our pre-conversation that we like to have before we get going, and where it landed. I'm like, nah, that's staying. Fuck that.
Perfect.
I loved it.
Again, it ain't a problem, right? Yeah, just part of the recording software, folks. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah. So, buddy, today I had an idea. You let me know what you think.
Absolutely.
So we do for most of our episodes, we got to do a little bit of research on the topics and the subjects we cover. Like, you know,
we try. Internet's a dumpster fire.
Right. And as my brother has pointed out and others, we're not 100% perfect on the fact checking, but that doesn't really matter. But we do, while doing this research, very often fall down the dreaded, what I call a rabbit hole, but you told me the new term is
doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling, which I had heard the word doom scrolling. I didn't know that they were the same thing. I assumed from hearing the words doom scrolling, that was people going through the negative parts, the Twitters, the negative stuff. So, but it can be anything.
Yeah, so
is what you're saying.
Yes and no, right? Because doom scrolling is when you're literally, and we all do it. Everybody that has a cell phone has done it. It doesn't matter who you are, and don't fucking lie and say that you don't do it. You sit there and you start watching something that somebody sent you, and you start scrolling, and you start scrolling, and all of a sudden it's been an hour, and all you're doing there is scrolling and wasting fucking brain cells, right? That's doom scrolling.
Okay.
As far as what we do, and that's on anything. That's on all those little shorts, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube shorts, stuff like that. That's all doom scrolling, right? Okay. What we do in the presence of a rabbit hole is a lot similar.
That's specific. I fell into watching X, and now I'm watching a bunch of clips and videos about X. That's the only differentiation, right?
Right. That's the only real comparison that we have, because we'll do that research in this. I know I do.
I definitely have. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, because like I'll be clicking on something and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? And all of a sudden I've got 40 fucking tabs open. I'm all like, now where did I start?
Right, yeah. Like, oh, honey, I don't know if you've seen it, ironically, the great clip lately of a lady looking at her phone and going, oh, isn't that cute? Turns around to say, hey, let's say her husband's name is John, right? Hey, John, have I showed you this video? When she turns around, her husband is collapsed at the bottom of the stairs. She goes, oh, that's right, 911.
Oh, fuck. I have not seen that. That is great.
When I see it, I'll send it to you. I'll post it up because it was the kind of what made me think about this, of how many people are doing so. Let's just say right off the top here, then, when we're talking about this today, folks, we're talking about all of it, the rabbit holes and the doom scrolling and the works. You know, internet, general internet usage, right? And I wrote this down. John was laughing at me before we started, but one disclaimer, folks. I am painfully aware of the irony that with what we're going to talk about, our podcast is broadcast on the internet.
Yeah,
I realize I'm talking about a problem that we're kind of part of, but anyways, so
if
there we are. That's
look, if you doom scroll or fucking just keep going down the rabbit hole of what the I Saw podcast episodes, we're okay with that.
Yeah, definitely do that. Yeah,
do that.
Like, I wish we had more posts for you to watch. I'm personally to blame for the lack of that.
Oh, funny.
So before I jump into some statistics here, pal, we'll get it out of the way. It seems to me that it's one of these things that we can talk about the good and the bad and why it's a problem and why it's not.
Right.
But you're not going to be able to stop it because you got 3 kids.
Adult children, but yeah.
Right. I mean, I should say, yeah, adult children, right?
Yeah.
Man, try taking the phone out of their hands. Like, how would that go for you? I can't. My wife, not to cut you off after I ask you a question, right? My wife spent 2.5 hours scrolling hers the other day before I finally sent her a text message. It was like, you know, I'm here, right? I was 4 feet away on the couch watching football. Like,
right.
It happens to adults too. It's not just kids.
Yep.
But so your young adult children, I mean, look, what's going to be the reaction if you walk over and go, "Meow, meow, meow"?
Well, I mean, they're adults. They fucking do their own thing, right? Like, I'm not going to take their phones from them now. They're all doing their thing. But let's back up a few years, right? Let's when they're all teenagers and adolescents, right? 2 of my kids had cell phones when they were fairly young, 11, merely for communication means, contact means, because they were both kids of divorce situations, right? So we wanted to make sure, me and my wife wanted to make sure that we had contact with our kids.
Totally makes sense.
And so what it was, though, is my kids knew very, very well, and they understood it, that cell phone is my property. I will do with it as I please. Abuse the privilege you get to have the cell phone, and you won't have a cell phone. I could, at any time, walk up to the kids and be like, give me your cell phone. And they just hand it over. But that's my kids. I've seen fucking videos of kids losing their shit because they took their fucking, mom and dad took their cell phone away, or they took their fucking iPad away, you know.
Breakdowns.
Like complete fucking meltdowns.
Full send meltdowns.
Yep. And that is a parenting issue. That is not on the kids.
As a non-parent, Ripley is never going to have a cell phone, so it's not a problem for me, right? Like, I realize I got to lean on you for some of this, like, parental, experience stuff.
And I'm not perfect. I don't have all the great fucking parenting advice. I've fucked up a lot, and I've apologized to my kids a lot for fucking something up.
Hey, look, our parents all did the best they possibly could, but also they fucked you up a little bit.
That's kind of one of the goals.
That's almost every person who ever existed, right? Like, your parents, not every parent tried their best, and not every parent fucked their kid up, but almost everybody in the middle, both those things are true.
Yeah.
Side note.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I was just kind of curious because I see, I'm in so many different businesses all the time, and many of them have customers, and many of the customers have kids with them, and I see varying ages and social economic situations in different parts of town. There's a kid with a phone at so many ages while the parent is doing whatever, shopping for groceries, looking at clothes. It's the nanny. It's the electronic nanny.
Yep.
I'm not hating on it, but it seems like it's really not great for people lately.
No, and it isn't. It's getting worse. But the deal there too is like, it's not only the electronic nanny, it's the electronic pacifier. A lot of these parents are giving their phones and screens to the kids while they shop and stuff to keep them shut the fuck up, to keep them quiet.
Which I don't hate.
And it was really sad. I was just in a restaurant with my wife this weekend. We were in Monticello and having lunch, and this family come in, and 3 kids, all pretty young. They were all with, a year or two apart from each other. One kid was really engaged. It was so funny because the one kid was really engaged. She was sitting on the outside. She was like interacting with her parents and their food and, coloring. And then the next kid wasn't even talking to the fucking parents. She was just fucking coloring, and they're all girls. And she was just coloring away like she was mad at the fucking paper, right? The third kid was staring at a fucking screen, just staring at the screen. They gave her a fucking iPad. She was just fucking sitting there staring at the screen. Her hand would go up and she'd fucking change the video or slide the fucking screen over, but she never looked up from it, ever.
Tablet in one hand, chicken nugget in the other.
Yep. Fucking unreal, man. It was
works,
sad.
Right? It works.
It works for them. I don't agree with it. I don't fucking agree with it. When your kids are out in public, when you're in a restaurant, don't give them a fucking screen. Get them to fucking behave and interact. If you have a problem trying to get your kid to behave, that's a you problem. Like, that is not on the kid.
Right. But now that being said, if the entertainment distraction value of the current technology, cell phone, tablet, whatever, was available in the 70s, don't you think parents would have been using it then?
What were they using instead of? Let's talk about that. Like, what was the thing?
All right, great. I wasn't consciously alive then, so let's push it to the 80s then. So okay. I was born in 78, right? So we'll push it into the 80s. I don't recall, if I'm honest with you, what was pushed in front of me to shut me up. I think more places back in the day had exactly what you were just talking about. The placemat always had a puzzle and a word search and a coloring spot. Yep. And I think
it was an activity of some sort.
Definitely in eating establishments, because they caught on right away. Yep. Cranky kids are loud, and people don't go to places with loud, cranky kids.
Right.
It's a super easy business thing that they figured out in the first day. Right. First time there was a kid sitting down losing its shit, bawling its head off. Yep. They're like, we got to do something easy and cheap, and they're like, hey, the placemat should have games, like whatever, right?
Yep. I think that was probably 60s, 70s.
No, that definitely. Right. That started. It was certainly started back then. It was just still a thing when I was of that young age. I recall that was always just like slide that in front of you, right?
Yep.
And the smart places, I do also recall, had multiple versions of their placemat.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So if you finished yours, dad or mom or brother or sister might have a different version there, and they're just like, hey, swap that out with Jay before he loses his
fucking mind.
Head. Like, you know what I mean? So right. I notice I'm very hand gestury today. It's weird looking at the screens.
So
also, folks, public service announcement here.
PSA.
We were supposed to record an hour earlier today. John understandably had things to do, but that hour, after I came in out of the snow and the cold today, because the weather is awful here today, I did decide to have a cocktail, which turned into a couple extra ones while I was waiting for John. So if I'm a little spun up, I apologize, folks. But hey, it's not the first time.
No. So, dude, when me pulling my back out, I was half tempted to pour one, but I was in a rush to get down here and get things fired up because I was really cutting the freaking line. So I'm like, no, maybe on the next one
Maybe in between. We'll probably wrote a couple here. So let me jump into. Go ahead.
Buddy. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No.
The deal is that I'm thinking of is like, so all this internet and the technology and stuff like that to the kids, it starts at the house, right?
Sure.
It starts at home. It doesn't just magically fucking happen. It starts at home. It's mom and dad trying to get a quiet fucking minute. They give a kid a fucking iPad or a phone or a cell phone, play a fucking game and leave us alone for a goddamn minute, right?
Again, I'm not hating on it as a electronic pacifier, as you called it.
Right. It's the electronic pacifier.
Yeah, I'm not bagging on parents for it.
So our version of that when you and I were kids, because we didn't have cell phones, right? We ushered in the cell phone era. it was literally get the fuck out of the house.
Oh, go outside. Sure, yeah.
Get the fuck
go
out.
Go make some fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Go cause a little trouble if you can.
Yeah. You know? If you're thirsty, the hose is outside.
The hose is there.
Turn the damn thing off.
Yep.
Don't leave it running. You only do that once before somebody whips your ass for it, right?
Right. And come home when the street lights fucking turn on.
Yeah.
Be back in the house.
Yeah. If you take my hammer to go build something, bring my hammer back.
Put it away.
And put it away. And you know you're going to come home with that hammer because you're building a fort or a tree house or some nonsense.
Right.
And you set it down on the workbench and didn't put it back where it was. You know you're hearing about that.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Find a stick that looks like a gun.
Yep.
You're right. It was the go outside and play. Yeah, don't bother me. Go out there. Life is outside. Go do that. You're right.
Yeah. I got shit to do. Get the fuck out.
So that was our go out into the world and do and learn and socialize and whatever. And now they have the do and learn and socialize on an electronic device in the palm of their hand. It's kind of the same thing now that you make the comparison. You sold me.
Yep.
Yes, it's different. It's not real life, but it's the experience of get out there and do whatever. And man, I like your analogy. You sold me.
Do you remember when the internet first started? What was the rules? Don't talk to strangers on the internet.
Yeah, but
don't get into strangers' cars.
Don't get into strangers' cars.
Fucking Uber, Lyft. Fucking, right. Come on.
Yeah, for those of you who are vaguely familiar with some of the smaller intricacies on the internet, if you're not familiar with the era of chat roulette, I'm not going to go on about it for a while.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Look up some chat roulette supercuts.
Yep.
It's exactly what it sounds like, and taking your chances in the wild west of the internet. So
yep. And people still do, because there's still those fucking crazy sicko bastards on there, right? Like
it's the problem with any communication network that allows anyone.
And anonymity.
Anonymity, I assume, is how an adult would say that.
I think I just found the word I can't say.
Anonymity. Anonymity.
I can't say that word. Anonymity.
Awesome.
And I got it. Anonymity.
That was pretty close. Yeah, that one was right. Okay. You got it, perfect.
Fuck.
Yeah. He's admitted before, folks. John don't talk so good sometimes.
I've got better.
So,
shut up.
Let me throw you out some. Let me throw you out some numbers here, man.
Yeah.
I thought that I was going to be blown away by these numbers, but I really, really wasn't. Okay. So, we like to point out the websites here when we can. I'm not sure, because of the spelling of this, what it's supposed to say, but the full word is demandsage.com. So I don't know if it's demands age or demand sage. Irregardless, here we go. People worldwide spend an average of about 6 hours and 45 minutes a day on their screens.
That's skewed.
So
that's skewed because a lot of people work on screens.
It includes people who are using it for work time. That's absolutely correct, right?
Right. For
sure. We're gonna break that down a little here in a minute. You're on it, okay? So it comes to the fact that side note, South Africans actually on average spend the most time, as much as 9 hours and 24 minutes a day. But anyway,
I would have thought it would have been fucking Indonesia.
India, somewhere with like a gazillion people, right? So the average person spends 2 hours and 21 minutes a day on social media. So I know we're talking about.
Yeah.
I checked in with what they have here. Social media in this case does include YouTube and videos.
Yep.
Even though it's not traditional social media, right?
Yep.
But it does point out that the average Gen Z individual spends about 9 hours a day looking at their screen. Yes, many of those people are out working jobs and all that.
Yep.
That's probably a fair number, because when I look at them, computer screen for work may be in front of them, but there's a constant look down at their phone, or they've got it in their hand, or they have it on some sort of mount, or they can do both. I'm doing my data entry bullshit, typing, computer, whatever, office job. sitting on my ergonomic ball or my standing desk, and also watching YouTube and scrolling Twitter and whatever, right?
Because that's the only thing that keeps them sane.
Right. Exactly. Because they need something interesting in what is
stimulant.
otherwise a dull life where they don't have to really mentally think all that much.
Right.
So over the last 12 years, it's surprisingly the amount of time people spend, you would think in your head that it has gone up. It's been real consistent the last 10 or 12 years since people were really on their phones with social media and Twitter and TikTok and things like that. It's been a pretty consistent number the whole time of the amount of time spent.
It really has.
Jumped on board. Yeah, they jumped on board. So you're looking at the green graph here, right?
Yep.
They jumped on board right away, and they were in. They were all in.
Yep.
It took so little time, I assume, because early adopters were professionals who were using these things for information or promotion, or young people who found out the entertainment value of this and shared it with their peers immediately.
Right.
For guys like you and me, we caught on a hair later because it had to be in the zeitgeist before we found out, right? We weren't hearing from kids at school because every kid was on, let's say back in the day, it would have been probably, for us, it would have been more like Facebook. But
MySpace.
Then more recently it was Instagram and then MySpace before that. And now it seems mostly Snapchat with the young people, TikTok,
Twitter.
You know what I mean?
Or right? Not Twitter, sorry, Snapchat.
Yeah, they heard it TikTok. At school immediately where it caught up to us once it gained some traction, right?
Yep.
So the U.S. specifically, it says the average adult. I don't know, but screen time here, and again, I had to look at some of this. It was according to estimates, but this also included watching television. And when they say television, they included if you're watching a movie or a TV show from a streaming service.
Any streaming services or anything.
We can call that TV now, right?
Yep.
The average adult in the U.S. is about 7 hours a day.
That is, yeah. I can understand that.
In my head, that was coming home from work, having dinner, depending on the busyness of your family and how you involved are, that was 3 to 4 hours watching shows or movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's still 3 hours a day on technology, buddy.
Yeah, but even let's break this down a little bit. Even at, say, our jobs, right? Now we're in the construction field. We're moving. We're grooving. We're doing things. But the deal is, especially with, I'm going to kind of pick on you a little bit because you're in the service department, right? You are on an iPad or iPhone way more than you used to be when you were just working.
Oh, absolutely.
Checking job requests, filing paperwork, ordering material.
And these things do, I'm not being crazy. Yep. These things do factor in when they talk about the screen time. It is for the people who also do use it for their job or whatever, right?
Right. So even with us, like 3 hours at work, being on a screen, that can easily be chewed up. I can totally understand that. And
that's a quarter hour every other hour.
Yep.
That's 7.5-ish minutes an hour. Looking stuff up, signing in, doing research, whatever, right?
Yep.
But you got to remember that that's people who are also using it for work and whatnot, right?
Right.
But there's plenty of people who don't have that factor, that this number is jacked.
Right.
Okay. So if we went, just to make it a little kind of easy here, okay, so let's go by age groups. All right. You and I, we have a division here. Are you 45 yet?
No.
So 44. Yours is your age group is 35 to 44. Mine is 45 to 54. So they don't vary that much in that age bracket. 6.5 hours for your age bracket, 6 hours and change for mine. All right.
Yep.
But you back up to 25 to 34, and it adds a half an hour onto yours. You go to 16 to 24, it adds another half an hour, slightly less for males. It does certainly seem that the females spend a hair more time on screen time than men do. It's not a ton a day.
Yeah.
15 or 20 minutes extra, but it's just a couple extra checks of what did they say? Did somebody like this following somebody? It's just a little tiny extra connection. I know it doesn't sound like a lot in the grand scheme of things,
Right.
but something I'm going to mention later that I did a tiny bit of research on seems maybe factoring. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
can you humor me for a minute?
Absolutely.
Would you get on your phone that I can see you looking down on right now on the Zoom call?
I'm
Can you
probably
look at
doing
what
exactly what you're thinking.
I was curious about what your screen time was
I was looking that up.
Yes.
I've never looked it up on my
Yesterday.
phone.
yesterday. What was your screen time
Yesterday.
or last week?
So yesterday for me total, actually this, wow, it backs up all the way up to December 2nd. Oh, okay. Yesterday. There we go. Mine is 2 hours and 58 minutes.
That was yesterday? Or
That was
today?
yesterday.
That was yesterday. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to do the same thing, buddy. I was at 3:14 yesterday.
Yep. So right in there.
So again, I do spend a bit of time sort of checking a few other odds and ends while, like you say, I'm in the service department. So I do a bit more on mine just to kind of get the job done sometimes, parts, material, things like that.
Yep. See, this is skewed though. I want to bring up something. So last Saturday, I scrolled back to see my biggest usage day recently, which was Saturday. So here's the skewed part of that is Saturday I spent getting my deer head from the butcher to the taxidermist. Right.
Yep.
So a lot of driving. My screen time shows 5 hours and 44 minutes for that day. 4 hours and 57 minutes of that was on maps. GPS.
Oh, okay, but for you,
Yep.
I can't. That's because you got one of those weird Android phones. It's okay.
But that's where those numbers
Nothing on that? Okay, keep going.
I ain't gonna touch
Nothing
that
on
one.
that? All right.
I'll leave that one alone.
All right, fair enough. Keep going.
Oh, this is not the episode for that. We've had that episode.
That's true. Yes, no, listen, I agree with what you're saying. The numbers can be skewed, but
Right.
the skew of what you're mentioning right now, correct me if you think I'm wrong here. Yes, that's people in older adult professional age brackets. The young people, it's Snapchat and
100%.
YouTube, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, our generation didn't have it, so yes, we use it and it's entertaining and all that.
Yep.
But so what I was going to say, it's something I had later that we were going to talk about, but let's just jump in. It's addictive.
Oh, it's massively addictive. Oh, the dopamine rush that you can get.
It's not even the rush, it's the dopamine drip.
Well,
A little bit and a little bit. It keeps you, it's a nicotine pouch in your lip
yeah.
versus smoking ciggies.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It is massively addictive. So that's the other downfall of it, right? So one, you're right. It's addictive. Two, it's actually shortening people's attention span.
Yes.
By a lot. Some reports say that we are officially at the point that we have shorter attention spans than goldfish, which is less than 3 seconds.
I've heard the goldfish 3-second thing. This seems like one of these cases my brother is going to call us out for a fact check. The goldfish thing might be a myth, but since we use it as the general idea of what a short memory is, we're going to keep rolling with what you're saying.
Yep. So, and I bring up those numbers and stuff like that because my bride is in social media. So
Yes.
she has to monitor. She has to monitor, how long should shorts be? How should videos be? Length, duration, structure and whatnot. She knows all that stuff. And she's like, if you can't get somebody to pay attention for more than 3 seconds, you're fucked.
Yeah, you got to catch them.
Yep. You got to hook them in the first 3 seconds. It used to be 5. Used to be 5 seconds.
3 seconds is really fast. Let's just talk about it, okay?
It is exceptionally fast.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
That's it.
If I didn't have you right there, I lost you. That's
right.
Really got to make how do you make an impact? And here's the thing that's crazy. Okay, so it's kind of not a side topic, but I don't want to go too far down what I'm just thinking. Young people who are making shorts and reels and Snapchats, they're teaching themselves to make an immediate impact. Immediately, like 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's good and bad as far as socializing with people goes. Because if they don't make an impact immediately, they perceive it as a failure.
Oh, right.
And enough failures, and now people, with anything, if you're trying to do anything at all and you consistently fail, if you get negative against yourself for that, and now you're falling down the well of, well, nobody watches because I can't make an impact through. Like, you can't do that in real life. I mean, yes, are there occasions that the first 3 seconds that you talk to somebody, they make a huge impact, or the first thing you see them do? Sure. But that's life in general, not the fake social media, whatever. 3 seconds. That's fucking crazy, dude.
So, it's so funny because we talk about making that impact and what that does. And these kids, I just kind of want to feed off of what you just said a little bit, is the point of failure. And I'm going to pull us into this as a professional business of our podcast.
Sure.
So are we growing the way that we want? No. Do we want it to perform better? Absolutely. Do I personally look at all the numbers all the time? Yes. So it's one of those deals that if you can't be okay with making a smaller impact, and I think that's where these kids are getting drawn in and sucked in, and a lot of the mental issues that they have is, you and I make a small impact right now.
Small growth over time.
Right. So it's a smaller impact, and all these kids want to go viral.
Yeah, it's got to be huge.
They want the big fucking Haktua girl moment. Right.
I love you make that poor girl, but anyway, continue.
But you know what I mean? That's what they're after. And if they don't ever hit that, then they get depressed. And then they spiral fucking south in such a bad way, and everything is an existential crisis in their life.
Well, let me jump into exactly what you just said there. So from Psychology Today, they talk about the real harm of screen time may actually lie in the missed opportunities for growth and connection amongst young people specifically. Of course it does.
Yeah.
But young people, as they're growing and learning, as we all did, you don't recognize the weeds when you're in them until you grow up later. Every breakup is the end of the world when you're a kid. Every toy you break is the end of the... And then you grow up and you realize, it wasn't a big deal. They don't know that yet. And they're deluged in a world full of, if you don't go big right immediately, you're never gonna, or you're nothing.
Yeah.
That can't be good for people's growth.
That's it's horrible. And that is, I'm going to take a note right now. That is something I'm going to bring up with a guest that we're having on. I think we should talk to her about that.
Yes, we should definitely. I bet she has some really interesting things to say about that. Yeah, we've got some fun guests coming up in the next little while, Ken.
But at the same time, when we talk about teaching kids the priorities and teaching them self-esteem, every parent can try to teach their kids self-esteem, but the internet can negate everything that you teach your kid so fast. Every ounce of self-esteem can be eaten by a fucking one post on social media. Just like that. Done.
And it's so many factors that can affect people depending on age and who they are. And like you say, if they're already depressed or really need, It could be that you didn't get enough likes. It could be that you got negative comments. It could be that you didn't like the way you looked or how you sounded or your background. And when you start to spin into these things, when I say background, I literally mean what's behind the person in the video. They may not have been happy about it.
Right.
Young people who overanalyze this stuff in this world can easily get into depressive states over not having the effect that they thought they were going to.
Right.
And if it continues to go on that way, it definitely leads to a couple of major problems. So like you said, depression is on that list.
Suicide's on that list.
Suicide is on that list. One thing that I didn't realize until I was doing some research earlier for this, did you know that if you grew up having conversations more often over video and phone and computer and things like that, that you're way less able to pick up on facial expressions?
Oh, yeah.
And social cues.
Yep.
And we've got kids from 2019 until today who had mostly that.
Yep.
And aren't able to recognize some simple social cues and situations out in public.
Yep.
That's also not great, whether that situation is this person is mad and they're going to pop me in the mouth.
They'll figure it out when they get popped in the mouth.
Yeah, this person is dangerous.
Yep.
There's something sketchy going on. I'm not supposed to be here. They just don't get it because they haven't had enough real life situations dealing with other people to pick out truth and manipulation and gaslighting and lying. Or even good things. Like the person is interested in you or wants to be friendly with you or you're doing well because they're not.
But brother, dude, okay. We have adults that are our age that still can't do that.
Oh, sure. There's idiots in every generation.
I've had, and I'll bring myself down to this level too, because I am horrible, or I have been, when I was in the dating scene after my divorce. I was so far out of it and so unsocialized that I couldn't tell when a girl liked me or not. I had no fucking idea.
I see where you're coming from.
So, and most people can't discern gaslighting and lying and like, because you don't want to see it. I don't think nobody wants to be gaslit. So you don't pay attention to it. You know? You're not always looking at your spouse going, when are you going to gaslight me? When are you going to gaslight me? When are you going to gaslight me? When are you going to lie to me? When are you going to lie to me? When are you going to... That's fucking toxic as shit.
Wait, you're telling me normal people don't think that all the time? No.
Okay, I need to have a talk with your missus.
Kidding. Man, my missus and I are great.
No, you're really
no, you're right about that too. But you're also, again, old enough to know that you just live your life and don't stress about tiny little things like that. But if your whole life is how people react to the things that you do,
right.
I'm worried about young people. So what it is. But
me too.
Ahead.
Me too. I mean, the amount of everything is in your face when you're online, when these kids are on social media, when they're scrolling these platforms and stuff, everything is right fucking there, right? You make a post and you may mean it just for your friend group, but then one of their friends that don't know you gets a hold of it and it spirals. Like, it's a dangerous little fucking road to take.
It definitely is. So if you don't mind, man, here's what I would like to do. Can we switch gears to a little more fun about this?
Absolutely.
All right.
God, please.
We don't need to be negative about it because there's also some great things about this. So we talked about the damage that this stuff can certainly cause, right? And this wasn't even talking about physical stuff like your eyes and your sleep and things like that. It can definitely affect that, right? Mm-hmm. But also, you get fed through the algorithms for a lot of these platforms, most I would say now, what you are interested in.
What you interact with, yep.
Right, what you interact with. And that could be something as simple as you like something. I got a pit bull. I get a lot of Pitbull videos.
I get a ton of corgi videos.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I work in construction. I get a lot of construction related stuff, funny,
Right.
serious, whatever, right? But also, you could use it for educational things. I save and follow a lot of people who tie useful knots because I would like the ability to learn about stuff like that. I follow a couple people who teach you basic sign language because my wife signs, and I would like to know a little more because I've been married nearly 20 years and I've done a horseship job of learning how to communicate with her in that way. I'm not a good husband, folks. I'm really, really not. But then there's also, I mean, it's everything. Then it could be car crashes or, like I said, dogs and cats. I don't understand the unboxing video thing, even though I understand they're incredibly popular. Someone will open up a new toy or gadget or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't understand the appeal, but I also don't understand the appeal of watching other people play video games instead of you playing them. I don't mean to sound like an old man, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
So for you, buddy, we'll just go back and forth here.
Yep.
What's one of the things that comes up real often in your scrolling?
It is I would say there's a top two, so I don't know exactly which one's top, honestly. It's either between corgi videos or Ricky and the Boss.
I don't know Ricky and the Boss. Who's Ricky and the Boss?
Yes, you do know Ricky and the Boss.
Is that the one where the guy has the big weird face? He talks back and forth with himself? No?
Yeah, well, he plays different characters.
Okay.
Right, Ricky, it's construction. Ricky is Ricky, the Boss is the boss, safety guy, electrician, the old man.
Yes, okay, yeah. Okay, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about now. I didn't know that it was Ricky and the Boss. I'm not good at looking at the people's handles.
Yeah.
If I see something I like and a few of their posts come up, I'll follow or I'll check a bunch out and then maybe kind of follow. Okay, yes, I know who you mean with Ricky and the Boss, yeah. Unfortunately, I think for some reason I saved this one on another episode. I don't know why I didn't save it on this one. I must have just been bouncing back and forth trying to get these ready. Anatoly Pranks 00. ANATOYLAPRANKK00. Anatoly Pranks. So Anatoly is, I think he's Russian. I don't know
Sounds
for sure.
Russian.
He's from one of them countries that's in that general area where he could be called Anatoly, right? Basically, his whole shtick is this guy he doesn't look gigantic, you know? He plays a janitor.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Different gyms, and he's just built like a brick shithouse, and he goes up to the giant buff dudes lifting a bunch of fucking weight, and he goes over and goes, "Oh yeah, I can do that. It's no problem." Lifts
Can
it up.
I try?
Hey, can I try with you? Yeah. If you're not checking Anatoly out, to watch the look of amazement and surprise on all the meatheads' faces, I find it crazy entertaining.
Yep.
That's one I definitely fall into the spin of, right?
Yep. Do you lean into more of a comedy thing on your social medias?
I want to laugh, yeah.
Do you watch? Yeah, me too. I think that kind of leans into how we run this podcast too, because we're not political.
No.
And I don't think that's really in our social media feeds. I've been getting a lot of it though, just because of the area that we live in.
Just because of what?
The area that we live in the state.
That's part of it.
I'm getting a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
Recently, because we're in the spotlight. So I think I would like to think people want to have a laugh online more than they looking up serious shit, because if somebody's looking up something serious, they need to be going to a different platform. You know what I mean?
It's a big part of it, right, buddy?
Right.
Your algorithm is going to feed you what you see, what you stay on for longer, things you search if you actually search, things like that.
Yep.
So, like, I can tell you from my perspective, I'll see something that actually may interest me, but I wonder how the algorithm works with stuff like what I'm about to say. So, for example, for a hot minute, I was getting shown. It's kind of redundant to say attractive because a lot of the stuff on the internet, it's attractive people trying to feed you their stuff for their OnlyFans or whatever, right? It was like attractive, slightly buff women splitting logs or running a chainsaw.
Yep.
I don't know how it found its way into my algorithm, but I must have looked at a couple of them and went, oh, that lady's buff. Like, hey, man, she split that big log. And then all of a sudden, that's what I'm getting.
Yep.
I don't like, I don't heart, I don't follow because those things get shown to people you know, like my wife, for example. I don't want her coming in and going, what's this? I'm like, it got shown to me. Like, it's an algorithm thing. I don't want to have that conversation.
Right.
But that's the words I'm looking for kind of escape me here. Also, there's that part of the algorithm where you're not feeding it, you're actually actively avoiding it.
Yep.
Do they factor that in, do you think?
Yeah,
The people
absolutely.
who write in these algorithms? Like,
Yep. So the algorithm knows how long you stay on a video, right?
Oh, sure.
So if you just scroll past something, it's not going to feed it to you, right? Like if you just instantly just go, if you see something automatically you don't like within the first second, just kick it back. It ain't going to show you any more of that. You play a video to the end or you let it loop. God forbid you let a video loop. Right. And you watch it 3, 4, 5 fucking times, you are going to get so many more. Like, and a lot of people see, there's a trick, right, that I picked up on in our social medias. So a lot of people will make a video and they'll make the music loop really long, right? The 30 seconds, but the video itself will fucking loop like 20 times inside 30 seconds. So you're watching this whole video 20 times without even knowing it until the music runs, you hear the music give a full loop.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, keep going. Right. So people are working the system, which, I mean, it's a system. Fucking work it, break it, whatever. But, and then if you happen to share any videos, it's automatic that you're going to get more of them. You don't even have to like a video. You don't even need to follow them. You and I share a ton of videos. A ton. Our algorithms and our feeds are almost identical because of it.
It's scary how often I almost send you one and then go, nah, I already sent him 3 today. And then you send it to me later that day.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
Yep. And so my feed is a mix of things you send me and things my wife sends me. Because you two are the most people that share videos with me.
We do probably interact with you the most. That makes sense, yeah.
So that's why I get Corgi videos. I've never liked a single Corgi video, but I get a lot of them because the wife sends them to me.
Sure. Yeah, I totally get it, man. That makes a lot of sense.
But your device and everything is taking so much information and so much data so quickly on any of these platforms from you and from other people and from our youth and our teenagers. We can't keep up with it. There's no way.
Well, I can give you proof positive that, I mean, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, researching how to do really well. People who actually cared about having a video get more views and going viral, they certainly look into how it happens and what they need to do and things like that. I'd like to laugh to myself of the posts I've made personally, folks, I've had as few as a handful of views from friends and family or whatever. And then I've had tens of thousands. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, there's no rhyme or reason. Why did that one do so much better? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden I go online like, oh, your video got 10,000 plus views. I'm like, that one got it?
Right.
I was half in the bag talking shit about a post I just saw, but for some reason it just takes off. I'm happy that I'm in a place where I don't, and I should be for the podcast, admittedly, but in my personal life, don't care enough about views and that dopamine part of it to investigate and educate myself on how to do it, because then I would be adjusting my personal reactions to everything. And that's what I wanted to get down to near the end of what we're talking about here.
Sure.
It's, yes, is it causing depression with people because they don't get the feedback that they want in whatever way, positive, negative, the amount. They compare themselves to all the other posts and the pretty men and women and all that, right? Like there's all that comparison. But it's the fact that they're, as a group, a lot of young people especially, adjusting who they are, what they say, how they, the whole gambit of their interaction and personality and thought process and speech, just for another 100 hearts, another 50 share. That scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, you're basically selling your soul.
And you can't, the vast majority of people never make successful money lives on the internet, right?
Right.
But so many of those people can't get that sort of feedback and reinforcement and in a real world, real job situation. That's what scares me. How do those young people adjust to the real world of no, your boss ain't going to come over and give you a heart every time you finish a paperwork, talk to a customer, file that. No. You don't get the immediate feedback is not getting fired.
Yeah, and not getting
paid every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you keep showing up, we're going to keep paying you. That's enough for most people.
Right.
It seems to me that the whole gratification and instant reaction of that is not conducive to people getting out into the real world working, which most of the people we're talking about, I'm worried about the young people specifically, like 25 and younger. Yep. You're not going to get that. I'm just telling you right now. If you're listening to this and you're in that age bracket, you're not going to be internet famous. If you are, God love you, good for you. And you're not going to get all the positive reinforcement and feedback constantly and whatnot at your new job. And even if they do try to do that for you, because they know that this generation is like that, they're going to get sick of it real goddamn fast, and it's going to go away just as quick as it started.
I like how you put that, because it's very, very true, because we're seeing it on construction sites more and more and more. People are making videos and TikToks and fucking dancing videos and shit on. I'm waiting for the day that I catch a freaking 20-something dance into a TikTok video on the job site with his phone in front of him, recording them and stuff like that. I will destroy that video. I will fucking just
destroy the phone.
Well, I ain't going to destroy their
ruin
phone,
their whole day.
But just be like, hey, all you got to do is interrupt them. It ruins their day. That's how bad it is. I think with the younger generations, and you bring in a 25 and lower, that's all of my kids. And it's interesting because my oldest is she is 23 now. And she is not a tech person. She watches TikTok because all of her friends are on it that she communicates with. But she doesn't she doom scrolls, but she's not on social medias like a lot of them are. My middle kiddo, she's 20. She is all about social medias, and she spends so much screen time when she's not working. And the best thing that happened to her attitude completely shifted when she got her real world job, went to work every day, socialized with people, like people. And she's a pharmacy tech, and she's loving it. Complete mood change.
It's amazing when someone gets out into what, like you say, the real world.
Yep.
And the quick shift of, it's just, it's a powerful word that doesn't get enough credit. It's that moment. Oh.
Yep.
The world's not on Twitter. The world's not on Snapchat.
I can have an actual interaction with somebody face to face.
Right.
And she's good at it.
And get the benefit of it, right?
And she was definitely a COVID student, right?
Yes, for sure she was.
And it's just like she has done so well, and I love seeing it because she was very isolated, very secluded. There was other things there, but we ain't going to get into that on this podcast probably ever. But she 100%, like, she came out of her shell. She started laughing and joking, and she comes home and she gets on her computer You know, that's what she does. She has friends online all over the world that she plays with. I ain't gonna stop her from doing that, you know.
Hey, wind down the way you want to wind down after work, right?
Exactly.
So, buddy, before we wrap up here, what's the, and you can take a sec to think about it if you want. What's the ridiculous, because this whole thing was originally rabbit holes, right? What's the one kind of ridiculous thing that you follow or you see come up on your feed a lot that you wish you didn't like as much as you did, that you would never have known about? What's one weird thing that the algorithm pushes you that every time it comes up, you're probably going to watch that video? Can you think of one off the top
It's
of your
not,
head?
yeah, I absolutely can. It's not
Okay.
watching a video. There's not much video to, I mean, there's stupid retarded video to it, but it's YouTube shorts and that they're telling little stories. My boss did this. This is how I, you know, da 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 da. It's very dramatic kind of stories. Like you know, this is how I got back at, you know, this person screwed me over and this is what I did, you know, stuff like that. It's just these really weird, I don't even know how I came across them, but I just get sucked into them. I'll doom scroll those fucking things for an hour. And they're like, not even, they're probably like 3-minute deals, 3-minute shorts.
Oh, that's surprisingly long, actually.
Like it's weird. How about you?
I'll be very curious to see if this one makes it back to my spouse. It's not about the person in the videos, although she's a kind of, you know, she's an attractive British, I assume British lady from the way she talks. Lauren.jumps. The lady wears little outfits and skips rope to cool songs.
Yeah.
But more simplistically than that, I get a lot of people like dancing.
Really?
I don't know that I follow that, but I mean, like, I see a lot of people teaching dance. Like, hey, do these few steps for this hip hop dance, or a group of 3 or 4 people doing something, or a couple people on the pier doing sort of like, I'm not a big guy on dance or anything. I mean, I'll dance at a wedding, but I'm not learning steps. Like, I'm not a dancer, right? For some reason, something in that algorithm pushed it to me. I find it highly entertaining. It bugs me a little bit, but like,
so
a lot of my stuff is people like doing cool dances and shit. Like,
if I say the word pop lock dancing, do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay. When I'm on Instagram, if I see a video of somebody, it doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter what they look like, doesn't matter shit. If they're doing that, I will watch that video to the end, maybe even 2 or 3 times. It's impressive to me to see how the human body can move that way.
Right. And maybe that's what it is. There's something sort of like cool and slick and artistic about it, the way they can. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it bothers me that so many of those videos come up on mine. And also sometimes they're funny too. Sometimes it's a young kid doing the crip walk dance or whatever.
Right.
Like a little kid, right? Like,
right.
Or sometimes it's a couple of people who are obviously professionally trained dancers who are now in great outfits out in the pier doing a cool little like number.
Right.
It's weird that it comes up, but when I see them, like, I'm going to watch the end of this. That's pretty cool. These people can dance. Like, yeah.
Yep, for sure.
All right, man. Well, if you think we've covered it all, you got anything else?
Dude, we could go on for hours on this subject. Hours. I've got so much to say on this. And we touched on so many things. I wish we really did kind of go down a rabbit hole of our own.
See, that I assumed was going to be the irony of this episode.
Yeah.
So for everybody who did listen to the end, we really appreciate you as always. If you have your specific rabbit hole or the things that the algorithm is pushing you, reach out, let John and I know. We'd be curious to see what some of you have the algorithm feeding you these days, especially if it's different age brackets. I'm always curious about how those things change. So go ahead, buddy.
I was just going to say, you can send that over to share it with the I Saw Podcast on Instagram, man. Absolutely. Send them to our email. You can text us a video at 507-607 507
607.
Is it 607?
507 607-4729.
Yeah.
Or 507-607-ISAW.
I saw. You send us all the things. We'd love to actually see them. But yeah. And what else do you got to tell them, Jason? I'm all jacked up now.
Yeah, poor John's had a long day here. That's weird. I'm the one who's been drinking, and he seems to be vapor locking over there. You can send us text messages or voice messages, that number. Everything else is really at isawpodcast.com. You can sign up for the buy us a beer if you want to support this little podcast. The tab is right there for that. You can buy us one beer or multiple beers. It all goes back into the podcast. We don't make any money here, folks. We're just trying to stem the bleeding a little bit. If you think that you would like to have a chat with John and I, the Be a Guest tab is also right there. Very simple little form to fill out. We do a real quick pre-interview with everyone, and we can probably get a great conversation out of anybody. So if you think you'd be fun, or you think you just want to talk to us, you have something interesting to tell us, or that you believe you want to talk some shit, we're always here for any of that. You can send an email to either John or I, our first names, at isawpodcast.com, or you can send it to both of us as hosts at isawpodcast.com. Anything you have feedback on, anything you want to correct us about, because
Keep
again,
it to
we
yourself.
don't do a ton of fact checking. We're more than happy to hear all of that. And other than that, share this with a friend today. Help us out. Help us grow this little podcast. We're happy for any feedback. We're happy for any shares and any likes. John and I are going to put up something recently about our Spotify year in review. We'll maybe put up on the social medias for everybody to take a look at. We're kind of happy with the way things have turned out in 2020 and 5 so far.
Yep.
We've got some fun guests coming up in the next little while. One of them I'm really, really excited to have on. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And other than that, I think that's everything, buddy.
It is. And as everybody's out there, working, slaving away, remember, social media is not as important as you think it is, for the love of God.
Yeah, have some real life interactions with people every day. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, can you kill some time? Yep. Is it entertaining? Of course it is. But it's not the real world, and the real world is where all the real fun is.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for listening again this week. John and I both really appreciate you. And as we say every week, just keep remembering while you're out there, your work keeps the world working.
Sláinte.
Cheers.